Welcome to Smash Writing. I am your host today, Paul, and today we are talking about reviewing the movie Ant-Man Quantumania. Now, if you haven't seen it because it is opening weekend, don't watch this video. If you want to be a part of the discussion, watch this video because that means you already watched it. So why not? Let's talk about it. Let's review it. Okay. First off, we all know the plot. So basically, Scott Lang, daughter, gets, basically, while Scott was trapped in the part of the blimp and all of that, Cassie had to learn. She apparently got smart, and she built a contraption that could communicate and map out the quantum realm. So to Janet's because she doesn't want, she's been keeping a secret in the quantum realm because remember, she was stuck there for 30 years. Nevertheless, Cassie activates the device and they get sucked into the quantum realm. There, they get separated. Hope, Janet, and Hank get tossed this way, while Cassie and Scott get sucked on another way. And basically, they start being part of these rebel alliances that basically come and they all get the drift of Kane the Conqueror, played by Jonathan Majors. I want to keep in mind, I think Jonathan Majors is going to have a epic, probably 14 months, because he was in a movie. It just seems like the last year and a half he's really been coming onto the scene. Honestly, even since his portrayal as He Who Must Not Be Named or something like that from the season 1 Loki, which we also know was Kane the Conqueror as a different variant. Okay, enough said. So nevertheless, they battle and they fight and they fight and they give the speeches, and then finally they beat him and they return home, and they're left with the idea of what? Well, Kane said if he is defeated and he doesn't escape, something's bad's going to happen. Blah blah blah. You get 2 post-credit scenes. You get Kane Council, which is basically now they're all coming together and they're like, hey, let's step up our game. We're about to conquer the universes. Okay, ends there. The second post-credit scene is actually a scene from Loki Season 2, where you got Loki and Morbius, played by Owen Wilson, and they see Victor Timely. Victor Timely is another variant of Kane the Conqueror. And it ends there. Okay. Now, it has been brought to my attention, because I generally try to stay offline really through this whole process of the reviews, and it was brought to my attention by Justin that that a lot of critics are not happy with this film. Now, I want to look at their perspective, and I want to look at the fanboy in me's perspective, like my little t-shirt. So I want to give it just a whole picture. This movie, to me, one, you look at the graphics. It's Marvel, it's Disney. The money for the graphics is no problem. So I think anytime you watch any of these films, you can kind of just get the appreciation that the graphics are going to be on point. And it was. You have to make this a spectacular imagery type of thing, and they do a good job of that. I think you really, everybody plays their parts well. So when you're looking at acting, everybody is playing their part well. I wasn't behind. Hold on, let me get her name. The one who's playing Cassie Lang, Catherine Newton. I don't know. It didn't really it didn't really click on me that like she was good fit for this role. She seemed honestly to be out of her place, I would say. But she still had Paul Rudd doing his thing. You have Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer, Jonathan Majors, Corey. Wait, was it Corey Dillon? I think that was his name as Darren. Bill Murray. Yeah, Corey Stoll as Darren Maduke. I think everybody else besides Catherine played their part well. I don't know. Catherine just, like I said, just honestly seems to be out of place. So I want to give a knock against the film for that, because you obviously cast somebody that maybe you was really expecting and to shine, and she just didn't. She seemed stiff in certain points, or she was acting too hard. Jonathan Majors, I do think, was a extremely bright spot in this film. I think his portrayal as all these different King variants, and that's what they are, and Nathaniel Richardson's variants from timelines and universes and all that. You see him in Loki, and now he has to portray the same character but a different psyche. And you see this one. This one is a complex character, because if you pay attention to the film, he is no doubt a bad guy, but he's a bad guy for the greater good. And this is something me and Justin was talking about after I was texting him back and forth, like, hey, I seen the movie, because he's seen it. As you seen the night before, he did Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, so I'm catching Ant-Man. And we were talking, and it felt like, no doubt, that he has hinted that he's the exiled one, and everything that he was doing was for the greater good. While the other Kings are destroying timelines and creating alternate universes, he's trying just, I guess, to keep it all as one. But he's misunderstood, because he has to do like a whole bunch of crazy stuff and evil stuff. But then also his personality, like, he is set on as getting what he wants by any means necessarily. So in the process, he is creating enemies. I think it is such a great portrayal. So I give props to the movie. I give props to Jonathan Majors. It's just really great how he's doing with the character, and I cannot wait to see. Him alone is making me want to say, hey, let's stretch out Phase 5. Let's not jam-pack it and crunch together. Like, I don't know if it's still staying on track, but like the Secret Wars is like in 2026. No. Treat it, if he is bigger and better and stronger than Thanos, then give him that respect. Give him a longer story arc. I don't care how long it takes. You can give us 1,000 movies in between now and 2030 to shut us up. Just keep this story arc going. Keep him in the role. The action was about what you would expect. I don't think no scenes of like pure fighting is going to like really stick out. Like, there's nothing too crazy about it, but you did get, like I said, just raw emotion of Kang was enough action for me. Like, just his storytelling ability. Now, I don't know what the critics were giving it. Now, I read before I was making this video and everything about them hating on it. It's supposed to be as low as the Internals. Now, I'll be honest with you, I haven't watched the Internals yet. A lot's going on. We got a jam-packed scheduled. So I'll get to it and, maybe revisit that. I'll make a note like, hey, Ant-Man, critics are comparing Ant-Man 3 to Eternals. Eternals. I don't know. But if the critics are bashing this, I want to know why. Yeah, it's the 30th some film in the MCU, but it still gave us those one-liners, like a couple, don't be a dick. Like, they were really pushing the wires here. So the one-line comedy actually clicked. Like, let's keep in mind that, like, it actually clicked. And, everything else was average or above average. Nothing was, like, below average. So I really don't know what they're seeing. Was the story the greatest story? Like, will it stand the test of time? Will it make $5 billion and all of that stuff? No, I don't think that. I don't think it's something that's going to win an Academy Award or Oscar or whatever. But this is not a bad film. It's actually a good film. And it's gets you excited that here we are, 30-some films in, bunch of TV shows into this MCU machine, and they got you excited. Like, they're finding a way to get you excited. They're, you're getting behind the characters and everything else like that. And this movie kicks it off. So, yeah, I'm excited. And this is what that film gives to you. It gives you that excitement. It gives you to be pumped up. What are the critics seeing? Or these big name critics? I don't know. I really don't know what they're seeing, and I want your guys' opinion. Like, what do you think they're seeing now? If you hated the film, please tell me why. Leave it in the comments below, and we'll read them, because I don't see why this film should get so much hate. I'm giving it an overall B. Okay, about 80%. Can go like 84, probably no more than 85, to be honest with you. And you're probably asking, well, then justify why it's not superior. Why is it not an 8 film? Because I will say, like, could there have been more action? Sure. Catherine Newton as Scott's daughter, that was rough. Simple story. Yeah, okay. But none of those things, the negatives, the cons or whatever, is not really going to drop the film down to like, oh, it's below average. It was a good film. It was a B type of film for me. And that is my final grade. If you disagree in a good way, meaning you think it's an A, or you disagree, you think it's below a B, leave a comment. Let us know. Until next time, bye-bye.